Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
And a great day to you, and welcome to another edition of My Hometown. I'm your host, radio personality Rita Monte, along with NCC student Ariel Mancebo. And our very special guest today is Giada Valenti. She is a singer and songwriter, born and raised in Venice, Italy, of course. Giada Valenti started to sing and play piano at the age of 7. She studied piano and music theory at the Santa Cecilia Music School in Venice. And she also studied jazz with American singer Dawn Mitchell. In Italy, she has won several important music awards. While studying psychology in Padua, she met the love of her life and moved to the Netherlands. In 2004, when her music got very serious interest from a major record label in New York, she decided to move to the United States. In 2005, she released her CD, Italian Signorina. In the same year, she sang the acclaimed song Caruso on the red carpet at the Columbus Day Parade on Fifth Avenue. In New York, she has sung in many prestigious venues, such as Feinstein's at the Regency Hotel. Currently, Giada has been touring the country to promote her television special, From Venice with Love, for public television. The special was filmed partly in Venice and partly in New York. The 40 Dates tour will start in April 2016 in the USA. Giada's charismatic and charming personality is touching the heart of her fans all over the world. It is a dream in life to promote with her music the beauty of Italian heritage in a beautiful Venice. And today we want to welcome Giada Valenti to My Hometown show. Welcome, Giada.
Such a pleasure to be here, Rita.
A pleasure,
and Ariel.
a pleasure to have you. And Ariel Mancebo is here with us, our student. We have a very exciting show today. Lots of questions to ask you. And the very first one, I'm sure you have been asked many of times, but for many new listeners out there that had never heard of you, how old were you when you realized that you wanted to follow the path of the music field?
This is a question, indeed, that has been asked me several times, and I have a question. I think I was born to be doing what I do because I've never made a decision that I wanted to be a performer or a singer. And as long as I can recall, I loved music. I started as a child. I always said the only thing I wanted to be was be happy. And it happened that my happiness and part of my happiness was music, was performance. So I've been, as long, we don't have recollection of the first couple of years of our life, but let's say from 7, 8, 9, 10 and older of years of my life, I can remember how much music meant to me, how much I still to this day I enjoyed listening, playing, singing. So unfortunately, my question is, I think I was born to be this.
I guess we are born because when we're born, we scream. So that's
Yes.
a little bit of a singing, right?
Who knows? I should ask my mom. Maybe I came out singing
She
something.
knows. I'm sure she knows. That's a great answer. So I understand that you studied psychology at the University of Padua, which is a very prestigious university.
Yes.
And how much have your studies in psychology helped you and your career over the years?
I don't know if it helped my career, but for sure it helped me to be a better person, a better human being. Anything you learn in life, it's something that became part of yourself. So studying psychology, in the beginning, I did it because my parents wanted me to study something that was a serious kind of thing. They were afraid the music would have not brought me any place else. So I studied that, and while I was studying that, I'm very interested and curious in everything. And I think sometimes I use my psychology more to no, I don't analyze my audience, but somehow I have this sensibility that I can see which person in my audience really would love me to get closer to them, and which other person really love what I'm doing, but they are like, as long as you stay far away from me, I don't even mention my name. And I don't know if it's something that I learned with psychology, but for sure made me a better person. Because when you study psychology, I don't know if you know, sometimes when you you're learning some things. The teacher, they analyze yourself. So I've learned a lot of things about my own personality.
Yeah.
I've learned, for instance, that even though I'm very open when I'm on stage, I'm very shy in my private life. You would never say that if you see me on stage. But I have kind of insecurity and things I'm not sure about myself, which you will never know if you see me on stage. And I've learned through psychology, when this psychologist was analyzing myself, and I realized that, for instance, I can go on stage and I can sing, I can do whatever you ask me to do as long as it's related to music. But if you put me on a catwalk like a model will do and you ask me to just walk through the room and I don't have to sing or play an instrument, I'm the shyest person ever because yes, that's something I can do.
Recently, you told me also that you've been using some meditation.
Yes.
How much has that helped you?
That has really improved, has really changed my life. I got into meditation after I was healed a couple of years back, a serious illness that I even didn't know. Nobody even knew I had it. And when I came out of that, I realized that health is one of the most important things you have in life when you have it. And we all take care of what we eat, what we drink, but we're all so stressed in our life. And I realized that the thing that never had a rest in my body was my brain. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I put all my energy. I sometimes sleep short night because I have so much to do. And a friend of mine, which is a veteran, a Vietnam veteran, he was started to telling me how his life has improved. He was suffering of PTSD, and he was very bad in the relationship with his family and his wife, and he introduced me to transcendental meditations, and he asked me to do a benefit concert to raise money for that, and I said to him, yes, but I would love, because I'm curious again, I said, I cannot do something unless I want to know what it is, and I did it. I went to the David Lynch Foundations in New York City. I've learned meditation. It completely changed my life. When you meditate twice a day, 20 minutes, your brain gets a rest that you don't even get it when you sleep. So it's really has improved everything.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So Giada, you moved from Venice to the Netherlands,
Yes.
then to London, and then to New York. Quite a traveler. How were you able to adjust to these different countries and its diverse customs, but most of all to diverse music?
I think I'm a very, I don't know, can you say a flexible person?
Yes.
I like to see different things in the world. I've always been curious. So when I moved to Amsterdam, I fell in love. It was my first country after Italy, and I fell in love with the fact that they have a very open mentality. And for the first time, I saw homosexuality and lesbian and gays getting married together and having great family, great life. I was like, wow, I've never seen that. And I thought it was wonderful. I understood that love is only about love each other and being in a good relationship with each other. Then when I moved to London, I realized that it was a completely different world because it's a very rich cultures that they have, but they were completely different than us. They're more like business work, and we in Italy we are very relaxed. And I thought, like, that can help my personality to be more kind of a businesswoman,
and also to grow.
Yes, and then grow. And then when I came to New York, that was love at first time. I always say, because I was instantly. I think this is the place where I was supposed to live because I'm very energetic, and the energy of New York City, it's unique.
What was your first impression of New York, Giada, when you first arrived?
Love at first sight, I'm always
Really?
say. I never had the interest of visiting the United States. Being a European, born and raised, I thought that the old country was so much better than the new country with no history, no cultures whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I remember stepping out at the airport and driving inside New York City and seeing the skylights of New York, and I was like, and then meeting the people on the street and seeing the variety of people that you have here. Suddenly you work in New York, you have Chinese people, Japanese, Indonesian, but they're all here for the same reasons. They're here because the business brought them here, or a great opportunity, or they're looking for a great opportunity. And that was something that really was a great attraction for me. I'm always looking to improve. I'm a dreamer. And this is the country of dreamers, I think. So I love New York City instantly.
And New York is the country of imagine.
Yes.
Right?
It is.
Central Park,
Of course. The great John Lennon.
So in 2004, you self-released your first CD in the USA, and it was called The Italian Signorina. You even wrote some of the songs on the CD, including that one. Tell us about the CD and this particular Italian Signorina.
I've been singing a lot of songs my whole life, but I'm a songwriter. I love to also create something musically to put my emotions in songs. And Italian Signorina was a song that I had written maybe 2 or 3 years previous my arrival in New York City. I never recorded. It was my first English songs, and I wrote it for fun because I was writing Italian song, pop song. And while I was collaborating with these Danish musicians, they thought I had a very interesting personality, and they said, "Why you don't sing in English?" I said, "Because I have a very funny accent." They said, "But your voice is so charming. Let's write something. Let's write something about you." And I remember telling them, "Well, I'm a signorina. I'm Italian. I love chocolate. I love to stay up at night. I love to walk the beach." We wrote the song, and that's the song that brought me to the United States. And that's the song I decided to record on that first CD that you mentioned. That I basically recorded because I needed something in English to give to people to say, okay, I'm Italian, but I sing also in English. And actually, in the special and the tour that I'm doing around the United States, that song still's in because I think it's really a song that has brought my life to where I am. Has changed my life to write the first song about me for fun.
That's great. That is fun. So, also, I wanted to ask you something. In your past shows, one particular show, Tribute to the European Divas, you featured the music of female singers such as the great Edith Piaf, Dusty Springfield, Shirley Bassey, and Ornella Vanoni. How much have these singers influenced your singing career?
Incredibly. When I prepare for this show, the music already had made me the singer that I am because that was the music that I love to listen. Then when I was preparing for that particular show, I dig into the life of those ladies, and I found out that when you are a performer, when you are a singer, there are so many similarities between me and them. Just like me, they all had intense life. They had struggle. They had, when they love, they really go crazy for it. They can make everything. And so it was an enrichment to see how all those women that influenced me as an artist musically were also so close to me as persons in their way of thinking and doing and seeing life. And just like me, they were adventurous.
Right. And diverse, because Edith Piaf was French, Dusty Springfield
was British,
and Ornella Vanoni, she's a great Italian singer.
Yes.
So you have a very diverse combination here. With,
but
with
it's
the
funny,
ladies.
if you put them together, all these 3 women that you mentioned, they have this they have the same way of seeing life that I do. They were all incredibly or happy or sad, or some of them, had very difficult life, just I do. And I don't know if it's something that when you're passionate about something, for what you love, you want to do wherever it takes to get to there. And I found out that all these women did the same, just like me. Sometimes in music, you need a moment of luck, and some of them had incredible luck in their life. They had incredible struggles. They had incredible love relationships. And I had the same thing. So
you really
I think
associate with their
very
personal
much.
life a little bit too, and also the musical.
Yeah, that's why one of the things I love is I love to know about life stories of people. I think you learn so much.
That's great.
From that.
That is great, Jad.
And we are back on My Hometown. I'm NCC student Ariel Mancibo, and I am joined with host Rita Monte, and our guest today is Giada Valenti, singer, songwriter, and PBS performer. Now, you just heard La Vie en Rose, which was a single by Edith Piaf from her album Chansons Parisiennes, which was released in 1947. The song was so popular with her audiences that it made her internationally famous, which is very interesting. And it is, in fact, your favorite song.
Yes, it is.
And we try to ask all our guests, what makes it your favorite song?
I mean, I think it's the song that made me a singer. I've learned it when I was only 4 years of age in Venice. This old lady, she was a friend of my grandparents. They were playing French music to me. I had no idea what the lyrics were about. I've learned French because I wanted to understand it. Somehow I love it. There is something magic in the melody, and now I know also about the lyrics, that they're so simple, so powerful, and so beautiful.
Yeah, they really are. Just listening to it, and especially since the song was not only in French, but they also give you that English take on it, so you can fully understand and grasp the concept, of how beautiful that song really was.
And it was funny because Ariel, when we looked for the song, she kept singing, and then going home, we literally went home and she was still singing.
It's nice to see Ariel. She's a young girl,
Yes,
and this
yes.
sound is older than all of
See?
us put together.
It's
And
ageless.
Yeah.
That's what
it's
it
timeless.
means.
It
It's
is.
timeless.
It is timeless.
It's
Yes,
beautiful.
exactly.
Yeah.
It is timeless. So now, Giada, let's come to la creme de la creme.
Voila.
Okay? Tell us about your project From Venice with Love. How did this come about? Tell us about it.
There is sweat, tears, love, years
it.
of life. Everything is inside this project. This is something, I'm passionate about my music. I love to be a performer, but I love most of all to sing love songs and relax people, to bring some joy, to bring some love. And I've seen it through the years in small venues that I was able to perform this show, that people really leave the theaters of the little room happier. Some people got engaged, got married during the show. I see hands getting holding hands. So I had a dream of bringing it to a bigger audience, to bring it to something like I was watching PBS, and they have always this beautiful television special where they promote artists like some artists that I love, like Andrea Bocelli and many more. And my dream was like, what if I can bring my show there? So I started to make research how that could happen, and I work, I think, with non-stop for 3 years. It wasn't easy, and to know that now it's on PBS and to see the love that I'm receiving from the audience watching it and from PBS themselves is just something that I'm like, sometimes you have to work hard, and great things never comes easy, but never.
The filming in Venice,
Yes.
I know that was very, very elaborate, and that one is going to be a show in itself. And I know that you did some of the filming in Venice and the
Yes.
show, of course, here. But the funny thing is, the week that you were filming in Venice, George Clooney was getting
Yes.
married. So they thought that it was you.
Yes, there was
the stars. Tell us a little bit about that. That's a very
It's funny. I love George Clooney, and George Clooney was getting married that the same week that we were filming. So we were filming with Jim Masters, which is a national PBS staff of PBS. We were filming in a gondola, and there were boats following us with cameras, filming us on the gondola. So people thought maybe it's George and Amal there somewhere. So they were taking pictures of us. And I'm kind of blondish, and she is a brunette, and Jim has dark hair, and George has gray hair. But people, from a distance, people were curious. So it was funny. And it's funny, like, I think a week after I had recorded a concert here in New York City in March, I go to a restaurant in Manhattan, and the owner of the restaurant is a dear friend of mine. She said, Giada, you know who will be sitting behind you? I said, no, who? George and Amal. I said, are you kidding me? Is he following me?
Yes.
I got to California during the mixings of the CDs, and I'm invited to a radio show. And the first things I hear the DJ say is that, and happy birthday to George Clooney today. It's his birthday. So,
That's great.
there's a connection of love, though.
That's great. So, what is your future goal for To Venice with Love? Where or at what level would you like to take it?
I would love
This production.
First of all, I have those 42 CDs tours to do in the United States, and then my dream will be every year to film a new television special somewhere in the world, and go back to Venice and maybe to other cities in Italy, and keep bringing beautiful songs from the past and the present to younger generations. Keep singing about love and keep bringing love around, and peace and joy. So that's my dream. I hope I can drop that on a stage 50 years from now, like Edith Piaf did.
Yes.
Keep singing and making people happy.
Tell us a little bit about your co-host, Jim Masters.
Yes. A dear friend of mine that I met through Modern Time, social network, Facebook. We became friends. I invited him to come to one of my concerts. He came with flowers. And it's one of the things, sometimes you meet people and you have these connections that you like them instantly. I call him my brother from another mother. And he's a sweet, sweet guy. Through him, I've learned also other aspects of PBS, how things were working. And so he was with me all the way while I was with my manager and husband JJ producing and try to find the team and to try to find the investments, the money to make it happen. And Jim was all the way there supporting me, and and he did all the voiceover he came to Venice with me because
yes.
the DVD that people will have from the show, there is also special footage where they can see all this filming in Venice. When I met them I show Venice that people may not know. I bring them to meet Pino Donaggio that sings another one of my favorite songs that is a famous You Don't Have to Say You Love Me or Dusty Springfield, but it's written originally by Pino Donaggio when he was only 18 years old in Italian, Io che non vivo senza te. So I bring the American audience to the house and the studio of Pino in Venice, and Pino shared with us how he wrote the song and which kind of emotion he felt when this happened. I take, together with Jim, I take the audience to meet two of the most famous gondoliers of Venice, two champions of the Regata Storica, Gloria and Marco, and they take us around Venice with the boat. And
You have a great team with
I have an incredible team. Yes, I have a photographer that came all the way from America, Mike Ferrante. He's a dear friend, and he takes all my pictures. And I said, you have to come to Venice. You have to take pictures of everything. So, with him, we went to meet one of the most famous masker makers of Venice, Sergio Boldrin.
Right.
He makes the most beautiful mask that are sold all over the world. So I will show aspect of my Venice, the place where I grew up, and I bring them to walk. You said before I studied jazz with Don Mitchell, and I did it in Venice. So we walk at a certain point in Rio degli Schiavoni, but this is very famous touristic attraction in Venice. But I was walking there at 8 o'clock in the morning when nobody's around. So it's nice. And we show all these different things of my television special. And everybody who is involved with this project are family or friends, new or old. But I think that's what we need.
Supporters.
Many
you
supporters.
Had much love. We have a question for Ariel because we're already 4 minutes left, I think.
Okay.
So we have the last question. Ariel, what do you want to ask?
Your favorite quote is Walt Disney, "If you can dream, you can do it." What advice would you give the young listener out there that would like to pursue a singing career?
Just, first of all, do it because you love it, not with the dream of becoming famous.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what moves you, you're going nowhere. And be perseverant. Be ready to learn and be humble, because even if you have instant success, everything that goes up comes down, and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. So,
yes. Oh my God, the time went so quickly. We had so much fun. We want to thank, of course, today Giada Valenti for a very exciting interview on My Hometown. And for more information on Giada's PBS specials and performances, you can visit the website www.giadavalenti.com or www.fromvenicewithlove.com. We want to thank you, Giada Valenti, today for coming on board. Thank you to Ariel Mancebo. A quick word from you before we go.
It's been a great pleasure to be here with you, and thank you for this opportunity to share my message of love with everybody. What a great interview. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you, Rita.
And this is the Giada Valenti of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I'm Rita Monte, along with NCC student Ariel Mancebo, which I would like to thank. And we thank you for listening.